All right, it's episode 105 of the SeaTown Sports Pod.
I don't think you have to keep saying it.
Oh, dude,
Once you get past
just
100, it's like, are you going to say, like, this is episode 217? Like, maybe.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
Will we get there? Who knows?
It's habit. Gosh, where was I gonna
Sorry,
start
I
this?
distracted you. It's
I know.
SeaTown Sports. That's Kevin and I'm Brian. Here we are.
Yeah, there we go. We got a lot coming at you today. Seahawks preseason game was today.
Yep. Huskies have a scrimmage tonight, apparently.
Huskies had a scrimmage tonight. More Hard Knocks. Some were saying Pat McAfee hyped it up as the best episode ever.
Yeah.
The Mariners did things.
They did things. Yeah.
And we had a lot of action in the social media comment section, including some interesting DMs. I don't know if we're going to reveal.
I can't wait. I don't get access to the DMs. So.
Oh, did I not? No. I did tell you. I told you yesterday. I told you and our producer.
Really?
The semi-famous person.
I'll have to look again.
Oh, you
yeah. No, we're not going to share that. We're not going to
okay,
we're going to keep that a secret. The fans can wonder who doesn't like our pod. Whose mom doesn't like our pod? How about that?
Yeah.
That's fair to say. Yeah.
Well, let's lead it off with some Seahawks preseason action, Brian. I went to the zoo today and I missed it. So,
well, it just finished, so you could have watched it.
Okay.
You weren't at the zoo at 6 p.m. I'm guessing.
I was driving back from San Francisco, so.
Oh, you went big time. You went big time.
Yeah, we went to a nice zoo.
Yeah, nice.
Although Woodland Park Zoo, I've learned is really up to date and really a higher quality zoo than what we have in San Francisco.
Also, Zoo Tunes. I don't know if you're familiar, Kev, but the concert series during the summer, they get great artists.
They do.
Last year I went to Ben Harper at Zoo Tunes. Like, that's great.
What?
Yeah. The last time I saw Ben Harper, I saw him twice before. I think I saw him at the Greek Theater by you, Berkeley. And then once at the Moore Theater. And the next time I saw him, it was right next to Hippopotamus. I was just hanging out.
You were the AD at Seattle Prep at in a portion of your life. Do you think you've been to the Woodland area more for cross-country races in your life, or more times to the zoo and things like Zoo Tunes?
Ooh, that's a close call. Because when my kids were little, we hit the zoo fairly often. I don't think I've told you the story. This is a good story too. I think it's probably cross-country by a little bit. If you add in the CYO, like the younger, watching my own kids.
Because they also race over there?
I have two things. First, cross-country at Woodland Park. Those are not in Seattle, you won't know, but a lot of people know this. The CYO race starts on an absolute straight downhill, grass hill. Like as downhill as you can make.
Do kids eat it?
Yes, and it's awesome. And you see two types of kids, Kev. This is what's great about sports. You see kids where, and this is a small minority, but kids are like, that's traumatizing and they're done.
Yeah.
But way more often, this is why CYO cross country is so great, is they pop up and go.
Yeah.
I've seen kids do a full somersault going down the hill, land on their feet. I feel like my kid did this and then just keep going like they didn't break stride.
Who is this commissioner allowing this to happen?
First of all, you leave Mark Webb's name out of your mouth, okay? It's a good friend of mine. He's commissioner of CYO. Shout out to Mark Webb. They've been running on this course way before Mark became the commissioner of CYO. This has been for years.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a grit test or why they start there, but they start straight downhill. It is amazing.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, I went to the zoo with Lincoln when he was little. Maybe Lincoln and Felix, just me and the boys. And I got a overpriced sandwich at Woodland Park Zoo, and we go to sit down, and I was not aware of the crow problem in the Woodland Park Zoo. And I went to go get a napkin or a high chair, I think, because Lincoln, I think, was in a stroller, and a crow came down and just stole my sandwich in their mouth completely.
Oh my goodness.
The entire sandwich gone. And the part that's really messed up is the lady sitting next to me laughed at me.
I would be laughing too.
I had a kid, and now I no longer have a lunch. I was heated because
you probably
I
had
just
to pay
paid
$15 for the Dippin' Dots to hold you over.
I didn't
sorry.
I didn't replace the sandwich with Dippin' Dots, Kev, but I could have.
Can I give you one more? Or continue
I have
your
one
story.
more thing
Did it
about
get
zoos.
worse?
No, that was it. But I have one more thing about zoos because this was a question in our family vacation recently.
Yeah.
Kev, do you think there's a zoo in every state in the United States?
No.
Good answer. There's not.
Yeah. There's not one.
I think it's 2 states.
Okay.
This is good trivia to kick off the show.
Yeah. Do you know the 2 states?
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to double check. I think I know it, but I'm going to double check.
Okay. I don't think there's a zoo in North Dakota.
That's a good guess. Now, here's what's tricky about it is that there are places that have, like sanctuaries or farms or something, but officially zoos, it is not North Dakota, but you're close. Wyoming,
Wyoming
and Vermont.
Vermont?
Yeah, how about that?
Damn, that's pretty. Bernie Sanders is pretty, that's pretty good.
Now, Kev, here's the deal.
To not lock up the animals for your own joy.
Here's the deal.
Good job, Bernie.
This conversation about zoos and my experience at zoos is my leadoff, because the leadoff today is preseason NFL football is absolutely atrocious. Sometimes some years I don't watch a minute of it, right? Because I'm going, last year I think it was, I'd rather watch the Mariners and we were on vacation or whatever. Maybe I watched a quarter. For whatever reason tonight, the stars aligned. I watched the entire game. And I cannot get that time back. It was awful. And I actually, Dana, my wife, and I just watched the post game too. Cliff Averill, Michael Bennett were amazing. Some great advice for kids on why you play football. It was great. Ragged Paul Sylvia about his shirt, whether it was Italian cut. Like, there were some really good highlights. But Mike McDonald spoke, and he was annoyed. And Hard Knocks is going to be great because, and you could watch him during the game, they did not play Seahawks football. And this was, just to be clear, so people don't freak out, there wasn't a guy who sniffed the starting lineup playing in this game. So the best players that played would be Riley Mills, played a little bit on defensive line. Mike Morris was playing on the defensive line. Tyrese Knight at linebacker. And he played a lot, which is not a good sign for him, probably. Bud Clark started at safety. I didn't notice him, so that was disappointing for me. Jake Bobo and Elijah Arroyo. Those are probably the best players who played. George Halani started running back, but they needed running backs. But, you don't have your top 4 receivers. Starting offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, and safeties and corners didn't play. Like, none of these guys played.
Yeah.
So,
and do you feel like there's guys that played that won't even be on the team?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Mike McDonald's culture is such that he's annoyed because he's like, this isn't our standard. This isn't what we do. He talked about everything from the play calls to the execution on, blocks or shedding blocks or gap responsibility on defense. Everything was bad. So not this week's coming episode of Hard Knocks, but the one after. No, it could be this one, right? Because they won't really have practice footage from.
Do you think it's almost like a helpful thing, and we'll learn from Hard Knocks,
Mm-hmm.
but like this gives them something tangible, like, okay, this happened in the game. This is what we need to work on, type of thing, where it's just been, we're beating each other up. We're literally, the team is literally fighting each other.
Yeah.
He's ripping people.
I think you're right. They talked about it the broadcasters talked about it. Good teaching tape, right? Mike Bennett was saying. Michael Robinson was also on the broadcast. He was great. But I was thinking about that. I'm like, if I'm JSN, am I going to watch the teaching tape of like the 7th receiver and really care? Like, he's JSN, and he's very humble, so he wouldn't say this. But he's like, well, I don't run my route like that. I run it better.
Yeah.
So I don't have that same problem. But, maybe, hopefully their culture is that those guys are helping coach those guys up in those rooms, which I'm guessing we'll see a little on Hard Knocks, but it might be 2 episodes from now.
Any other takeaways?
No, let's talk about
quarterback play.
Bad. Both Milroe and Locke were not good to me. I'm sure they'll say something about Milroe that was positive. The line was so bad. I mean, Locke missed 2 guys that were wide open. Like, he did not.
Yeah.
My takeaway was, please, Sam Darnold, don't get hurt. Which is usually the takeaway with your starting quarterback.
Yeah.
But not always, It's not always a disaster. It would be a disaster.
Well, let's move into Hard Knocks, and I'll be a little more natural about the transition, so let's try this out.
This locker room is unlike any locker room I've ever been a part of.
We got to get this on camera right here.
That's so cool.
I love it. Let's go. Hard Knocks episode 2, Kev. So you teased it. Pat McAfee said, great, maybe his greatest episode ever. How was it for you?
Yeah. I mean, he definitely primed it for me because I felt like I was watching different parts of it thinking like, that's cool. That's cool. Maybe this is why they think it's the best episode ever. The rawness of the kind of this like shadow of John Schneider and the team basically thinking about signing Terrion Arnold, who is charged with a felony, a pretty serious felony. And I'm
I mean, let's just take objectively there's 8 felony charges.
Yeah.
8 felonies. So
I think it's like kidnapping, and I'm taking off my lawyer hat, by the way. So I haven't looked at the charges. I haven't read the indictment or anything like that, but it's serious enough. I thought it was interesting in the episode how the kind of background check was like, I talked to Jalen Milroe. He said he was good. I mean, what is Milroe going to say? Like, he's a horrible guy?
I'm going to disagree with your take on this one. So I'm not advocating that this is the right call or not. Although if you go look at polls that like Dick Fain did a poll on social media, I think I don't know if Greg Bell did one. Maybe Adam Jew. No, he does Mariners. Bob Condotta, somebody from the Times. Dick Fain's is the one I saw, and it was like 80%, 85% absolutely signing this guy. So just want to put it out there. That's where Seahawks fans are generally.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Lions fans are kind of mad that they kind of, quote, gave up on him too early because he hasn't been convicted of anything, right? So
no, you're innocent till let me
in the
be
American
clear,
court system, you're innocent until proven guilty. We don't.
There has to be evidence, and someone has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that what you did or was wrong. Or
Kevin, I was a mock trial coach for 2 years, so I know all of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
It's coming.
Criminal court?
No, it's not. I'm done. I'm done with the mock court or real court, hopefully.
Don't worry, that judge didn't
I'll be
like
on
me.
the hardwood court, baby. I thought it was not just Jalen Milroe. They called old coaches. They called old players. I think you're dismissing a little bit too much that it was just like talk to Jalen Milroe. And we liked him.
I think that's what Hard Knocks kind of like. Okay. The 10-second clip that I saw, right?
I think
I agree with you.
You got to give. I mean, John Schneider is the best executive in the NFL, and anyone can argue with that, but like the results speak for themselves. He built 2 different Super Bowl teams with 2 different staffs and 2 different complete rosters with different quarterbacks. I think there was some stat last year that like it basically hadn't been done what he's done, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to give him the benefit of the doubt, I think, for now. But we'll see. That was only a small part of Hard Knocks. For me, it was a great episode. And I think people who are saying like Hard Knocks is kind of back, trying to take my Seahawk hat off, they're just doing a really good job of showcasing the team. Old Hard Knocks used to be so much about fringe players who were either going to make it or not. But because they don't cut guys in the Hard Knocks viewing time anymore, because they just do one cut. So like back in the day in the NFL, they would do 2 different cut downs, right? I think they would go 90 to 75 players and then 75 to the final 53, right? So I remember watching all kinds of different Hard Knocks episodes, and it would be like, is this guy going to make it? And they would turn in their playbook, and that was a huge part of the show. When you have a Super Bowl champ, what they're doing really well is figuring out the culture. So
I'm learning about these players more than I've ever
totally. That's the best part about Hard Knocks.
Like,
no matter what team it is,
like,
it's awesome, right?
They've probably people have probably written profiles on these guys,
right?
But like a couple 5-minute segments on these dudes, you're learning way more than you'll ever learn from other forms of media, I think.
I think the segment on shadowboxing and like what that does for their locker room and the culture was very fun. It was awesome.
Did you try to shadowbox Dana?
No, kids do this at prep all the time, and like I don't understand it. It makes me sound really dumb. Here's what I figured out from the show, actually.
Yeah.
When kids did it, I never realized it was a best of 3. So I would watch people do it, and I'm like, you just looked up, and they pointed up. You lost. It's a best 3. That makes sense. So they just keep going. Okay. I know that makes me sound old. Number 2, culture-wise, the shadowboxing was cool, but like the Derek Hall segment where McDonald showed a little bit of fire that we don't get to see all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a great line. He's basically like, you don't like it? Well, guess what? I'm the one that gets to make the decision around here. I'm the head coach. I was like, I think I've used that line before. I think every coach can relate to that in some capacity. And then they hug it out later and you can see they're fine.
I don't think the money has changed him at all. Like, it's amazing.
No, it sounds like that's who Derek Hall has always been. Like, he pushes the limit in practice. And
and the coaches acknowledge that's what kind of makes him great, right? So you kind of have to rein it in. What'd you think of him rolling up in his truck to the coffee stand?
I love it. That's the part I love the most. It's like, I was trying to figure out where he lives. I have a pretty good idea based on the coffee shop and then what the houses look like in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I thought the barista was great. I think
that's the
fun.
Biggest truck I've ever seen.
Yeah. We were like, how much is he going to lower it to get his coffee? And he didn't really, Yeah. I think it's awesome. Was there anything that you took out of this? You're like, ooh, that's newsworthy.
Besides the Terrion Arnold.
Yeah, that was the big one, right? The Arnold stuff was huge.
Because
we knew as Seahawk fans they had worked him out. But to see the conversations, as you already talked about, McDonald was having, and then to see them all talk after he'd worked out was interesting.
I do think the Eamon Worry, literally seeing where he's at right now, I think I'm more optimistic than I would have been if I just read a news report.
Yeah. Well, the news report that came after that said he cleared his physical was pretty big too.
Yeah.
He passed his physical.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. And then you just see it.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty significant. I do appreciate that part of Hard Knocks. Like, this is a guy that's injured you're worried about, and you're literally seeing like how much he's able to move. And to hear him talk about it and get a feel for like how does he literally feel about at this point in time of his rehab, I thought that was interesting.
Right. It wasn't on last week, but coming up this week, what will be fun is the newsworthy part will be Devin Witherspoon signed his contract. Highest paid corner in the NFL. So that'll be fun to see. And they signed Arnold. So that'll be plus the first preseason game where McDonald will be pissed. Like, there's going to be great stuff this week.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it.
We only have a couple more episodes, right? Like
they do 5, so we have 3 more. So it's great. It's going to take us almost all the way to the season.
It's great. Nobody else gets this, man.
No. And Kev, you know what's great about the Seahawks playing on Wednesday, September 9th, is those last preseason games are August 28th or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that I just advocated not watching preseason, but the gap until the regular season starts is long if your team's playing on Sunday. If your team's playing on Wednesday, it's great. September 9th, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait a couple days. There's no Thursday night game. Oh, no, there is, because the Rams and the Niners play in Australia. Oh, man, I can't wait. This is so good.
The NFL is good
it's
like
so
that.
Good. It's so good.
I don't know if this is so good, but the Mariners did win today. They won, and we're recording on Saturday, but they had a brutal loss to the Houston Astros. They go to extra innings on Friday night. They take the lead, and Munoz goes in, gets an out. Altuve gets up to bat. Beautiful hit out of the zone. Great pitch by Munoz. Gets in. And then they get a couple more hitters, and then they win. They walk it off. Christian Walker home run. So that sucked. And I, in my head, I'm like, man, they could gain a game on the Astros right here. Instead, they're not going to gain a game. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just sorry. I cut you off, Kev. I apologize.
No,
but
no.
I got excited because I was thinking after the Yankee win, not that it was a game changer, but I'm like, the reality is if they sweep the Astros, they're kind of in it again.
They're in a good position, yeah.
And so then Friday night, they start scoring some runs. And then, honestly, Kev, I watched a lot of the end of the game. They were down 5-2, 5-3. Brock Rodden, the rookie, comes up huge. Brendan Donovan said this after the game. He goes, I know it sucks we lost. I'm so proud of how we fought. And I'm like, that's awesome for a veteran to say.
And they interviewed him again tonight. Yeah. And he said the same thing. He said, it's about the process and having competitive at-bats. And I feel like we're doing that.
Well, he certainly is, because all of a sudden he is ripping the ball left and right.
Yeah.
Cal Raleigh is not and is completely lost, but
you know who else?
Brock's been good.
Brock Rodden, Josh Naylor has been great.
Victor Robles has been tearing it up all of a sudden.
You just need a trip down to Houston, I think, is what the thing is. I mean, they love to hit there.
So I told you last week it's over.
Yeah.
In your mind, is it over?
They're 3.5 games back for the second wild card spot,
but 2.5, Kev.
They're 2.5, but there's like 5 people.
But there's a lot
tied
of teams
for that. So yes, they're definitely in it.
Are they?
They're surviving this August.
But are they really? And I mean, like, get what you're saying, and I'm kind of with you. And I'm kind of on the fence here. I go back and forth. There's still 8 games under 500.
Yeah.
So like we can't really say, even though the American League is terrible this year, I don't think we're allowed to say it until they're 500.
Yeah, but here's my point though. Like the eye test, I don't think the Astros with Taylor Trammell batting cleanup is better. I don't think they're a better team than the Mariners.
No,
and
I don't think so
Astros are
either.
in first place.
It doesn't matter.
So
they're playing better. Yeah, and they have the best player in baseball.
Yeah. You have to think, yes, that's true. But
the best hitter,
as much as the Mariners, the Mariners collapsed, right? The Astros could collapse, right? We've collapsed
maybe
when we were in the driver's seat, right? So that's why baseball is a very funny game. And we'll come back next week and see after 7
exactly.
days
We kind of have to see it.
It's kind of fun though.
It is. I mean, when they score runs, it's certainly more fun.
Yeah.
Munoz got screwed. He did absolutely get taken so deep by Christian Walker, but he got screwed before that. I will say it's pretty interesting if you can get to a place where September's relevant with the Astros. Okay?
Yeah.
The Mariners, I think we've talked about this, their schedule gets a lot easier in September. Their August is brutal. They go to the Brewers after this, and then they come home to the Cubs and the Phillies. And then they go to Toronto and Boston. Like, just brutal.
Guess what, though? You're going to keep on watching.
I totally am. But I don't watch the whole game.
Even after demoralizing losses.
I can't do it. I can't watch the whole game because it's like too much to invest emotionally.
Yeah.
But can I just tell you really quick, this is the Astros September schedule. If you want to be a dreamer, if you want to be a person who's like, maybe, okay, they go White Sox, Diamondbacks, Phillies, Rays, all playoff teams right now. Royals for 3, not great. Braves for 3, and then 2 games at the Mariners before they go to Oakland for 4 to finish the year, which might be really bad for us because they're going to hit 17 home runs in 2 games in Oakland in that tiny little park. But
Mariners will like that park too, so it works.
Yeah,
it's
like
Before I ask the question, I do want to ask you about Colt Emerson was going to be demoted, and then he says, "Oh, I have an injury," and he goes to the IL. Jerry Dipoto is quoted by the media saying basically that Colt had not disclosed an injury that he suffered with his wrist that he should have. Do you feel that Dipoto threw him under the bus? Do you feel it was unfair for him to say something like that? Do you have strong feelings about it? Because some people do.
Yeah, people do. You're right. It's a good question, Kev. Where I generally lean with Jerry Dipoto is I feel like he just says things that he's thinking out loud. and maybe later's like, oh.
Doesn't have a filter.
It's not quite that he doesn't have a filter. I think he thinks he's the smartest person in the room. People have said this before. And I think he's really smart. I don't think this is that case, but I think his whole 54% thing was like an analytical argument that he couldn't realize wouldn't resonate well with fans.
Yeah.
Even though I think it's probably correct from my view. But
yeah,
we could talk about that longer in the offseason. In this case, it's probably a slip up by him. I lean towards like, why would you say that? Did you say that about Luke Raley, who was out for the year?
Yeah.
Who, maybe they knew about Luke and didn't know about Colt. He was probably frustrated because he's like, yeah, I convinced management to sign him to this huge deal and he sucks and he never sucked before. And it is interesting because he's sucked on like hitting the fastball.
Yeah.
And you could say, well, major league velocity, he wasn't ready, but I'm guessing a wrist injury affects that.
Yeah. And I remember seeing a spray chart that someone posted of just fastball. And it was just not the spray chart, the zone chart, and the pitches were just everywhere. And he was just swinging and missing.
Which is what Cal's doing, swinging at everything. Yeah. So he definitely needed to stop playing.
Yeah.
And I think they were in a tough spot because, sure, you could bring up Brock, who had another RBI double today, and maybe he just has the right mindset right now, and that's awesome. But I think they wanted JP to come back, and JP is not close either. So they're both out, which is just a tough spot to be in. But
we're just going to get more Weston Wilson action. Apparently.
I mean, if Brock keeps hitting, we might not, because Donovan is hitting now too, and he'll play third.
Yeah.
Although we might get Weston Wilson against a lefty every once in a while playing first base.
Yeah.
He hit a home run in New York. He won the game in New York.
Yeah, it's great to have depth. So I'll leave it at that.
I don't know if I count that as depth, but depth. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kev, I'm going to ask you something here.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't need you to literally ask me a question. We already talked about the Mariners. I just wanted you to ask me, do we have any hope or not? But we've already talked about that. What I want you to do is I'm going to ask you a few things about Husky football. And I don't know how much you've been reading all the different things and Christian Capels of the world. And but
I can try.
They had a scrimmage tonight. I had a few questions I thought about. One report I saw is everybody seems to be thinking DeMond's kind of hit a new level. Is that what you're hearing and reading?
I'm hearing and reading that, but
are you skeptical?
It's hard to separate that from that's just hype by the media, because that's the main storyline. Like, he's on the cover of the preview magazines now and not other people. I did find it interesting that, like, if you're ranking the quarterbacks in the country, he's in the top 15, but he's not in the top 5. And
and then you go Big Ten. It's because the Big Ten is so good. He's like 5 or 6, I think, or 7 or 8 or something. It depends on who it is. Yeah.
Pretty incredible, because I do think he's actually really, really good. But my main thing on DeMond is he's really great against bad teams or mediocre defenses. He's pretty bad against solid defenses
to this point. And I guess that's the question is, like, do you, maybe I push you to say, do you think you'll see that differently this year?
I do think we'll see it differently, because the offensive line, he'll have another year behind this line. And I do think the line is better than it was last season. And this connects to another point that I want to make. Christian Moss is going to probably, like, I'm 99% sure now that he's going to start in that X position. And the reviews are just so high on this guy. Like, and he is becoming like a preferred target. Really sad news, by the way, with Desmond Roebuck's
I was going to ask you.
brother who got in a car accident. Desmond took some time off earlier this week. I think he was back for the scrimmage. He's the de facto number one receiver for DeMond, and he's really good and really young. But it does give me pause because he is young. He's only going to be a sophomore next season. Like, it'll be interesting to see how actually good he is with that type of pressure on him, and not to have the fallback of like the alpha that Denzel Boston was.
And let me tell you, the reports in the NFL campers, Denzel Boston, like Bill Simmons is on the Denzel Boston train now of like, go bet on him to be offensive rookie of the year. So I don't think you know who
else is going to give him a run for his money is Jonah Coleman.
No, he's not. I'm sorry. No. He's not going to get enough carries.
You don't think so?
No, Denver has RJ Harvey, and they have J.K. Dobbins still. Those are two. Like, he's just Denzel Boston could be their number one receiver, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to be a receiver and be good as a rookie, but I don't think you or I are surprised about that. We've talked about Denzel Boston. He's an NFL dude.
Yeah.
Like, the catches he made at Washington are insane.
It
is crazy to think about, just real quick. Like, Rome might have a foot thing or something. He hasn't really, done it at the NFL level, although with DJ Moore gone from the Bears and Caleb Williams, a lot of people are saying are going to take this next step. A big year for Rome. You got Rome, McMillan.
Jalen Polk retired.
And then Polk retires. So the three guys on that, just amazing. And Penix is no shoe-in to even play this year.
Yeah.
So crazy. That team was so good on offense.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not part of my Husky thing for you. So DeMond was one. I wanted to ask you about Roebuck, so I forgot. I saw that news that his brother got in a car accident. So hope his brother's okay. I mean, hopefully he is okay. I wanted to ask you about the linebacking core, Kev.
There's so many dudes.
But the starting group, or there's a group of four that I read. Some people are saying could be the best in the country.
I think, like, if you add them all together, right? And
there's not an individual who pops in the way of, like, he's going to be a Bobby Wagner, right? Or something.
Yeah, I think you could just
Jacob
pull
Manu,
a team out of,
Alexander,
Can you name them off?
Buddha, and then Zadarius Rainey Saleh? Saleh?
Yeah.
So those four are kind of the ones that everyone puts together.
I think Manu starts for sure, just with the experience.
I mean, all four of those are going to play a ton, right?
Yeah. No, without a doubt. And I do think there will be some separation between two of them at some point. We just don't know who. But I'm willing to put my money on Manu. I just think he's been productive enough, and he knows the defense really well. Zadarius Rainey-Saleh I think it'll be hard to keep him off the field with his talent, and he has like some of the highest upside. Like, if I think of like NFL players on the defense, you have Dylan Robinson at corner and maybe him. I mean, the safeties are really good and productive, but I don't know if they're necessarily like NFL prospects.
I was going to ask you about the corner. So tell me again who you said at corner. Dylan Robinson and who?
Dylan Robinson and, well, I didn't name the other person, but I think it's going to be.
Will it be?
The name is escaping me.
They have a transfer
Emmanuel,
kid.
Yeah, Emmanuel Carney, who goes by Manny, from I think it's Virginia. He played for Fish at Arizona and transferred over, and then he came back. So he's experienced. I don't know if he's going to be as. It's not going to be as strong as last year, where you had Prysock and maybe half the season you had Tacario Davis.
I don't know. I saw one report that said it's no drop off. But again,
that'd be interesting.
Hype.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's true, because the defensive line is interesting now, all of a sudden they've got some transfers. Like, I was just reading today. You'll be proud of me and my research I've done.
Yeah.
I had no idea they had a transfer from Ohio State. I knew about I knew about Watts from Sacramento State because his brother also is coming to play basketball, right? Like they have both Watts.
Did you hear
now?
about the Ball State transfer, Darren Conley, like the highest graded, or no, I think Watts is the highest. Deshaun Watts, the transfer you alluded to from Sacramento State, he's the highest graded defensive lineman, I think in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's
by
wild.
Pro Football Focus.
And then they got a guy back through the 5th year thing, maybe. And
no, he's back. He's back. He's suited up. Yeah.
Sure, but isn't there still the possibility that somebody's going to rule all these guys ineligible?
No, I don't think so. I think he's ready to go, which is wild.
Yeah. So they seem to be good on the D line. We just talked about their linebacking core as a collective group. Might be the best in the Big Ten, if not the country, is what people are saying. I'm not necessarily saying it, but they definitely have the experience there. I mean, they're rolling out. Obviously, they have youth impact potential, but they're rolling out 3 guys who are like 4th year players.
Yeah, there's a lot of experience
between Buddha and Alexander and Manu. Those guys have all been playing forever.
Yeah.
So and then they got Alex McLaughlin at safety. I mean, that defense is really interesting.
What you're saying about the experience of the linebacking core, like that's what made Indiana great. And I'm not comparing UW to Indiana, but it's just this idea of having experienced dudes. And I think that's why the experience on the D-line is super important. That, man, I think teams are going to have a tough time running the ball. It'll just be up to the secondary.
It'd be really fun if they were good.
To keep it all together. So
yeah.
Let's move on to the Seattle Reign. Are they starting to figure it out after I watched them beat Bay FC?
No, they tied. Didn't they tie Bay FC? No, they won. You're right.
No, they won. They won. Yeah.
I sat in a suite last weekend, Kev. That was pretty exciting.
Subtle flex.
I know. Well, here's the fun part. You remember on this pod months ago? I want to give the Reign a shout out, okay? I want to specifically give my season ticket representative, Ryan, a shout out. She's great.
Yeah.
Because months ago, I was very upset when the Reign took away 3 home games and went to Spokane to start the year because of the World Cup. And then our prices stayed the same. You remember this, of course.
Yeah.
Then do you remember what the Reign did and sent me an email? They said, hey, you can get tickets to the US-Japan
World Cup game.
It wasn't even a World Cup game. It was a World Cup warm-up, which Dana was very excited about. I ended up not going because it was pouring rain that night. And I wimped out. And I was like, this isn't worth it to me. But that was part of the money credit we got. And then we had money left over. So SeaTown sports podducer, Justin, along with his wife, Claire, had a great idea to spend the credit to get a suite for her birthday. And then all we had to do is call Ryan or email Ryan, our representative. We used our credit that we had plus $40. And then all of a sudden we were sitting in a suite.
Had you ever been in a suite at Lumen Field before?
I went to a Sounders game once in a suite. They're nice. They're really nice. You have to pay more for food, which we had a meat tray, but we did not get like chicken fingers or drinks or whatever. But it's so easy to go out because they have like their own club level with Ballard Pizza and, a walk-in place to get your favorite drink or whatever.
Yeah.
It was great. But I saw them tie Angel City, and then they beat Chicago on Friday night, another home game. And they're all of a sudden
in playoff position.
They're in the playoffs if it started today. In fact, they're at, gotta make sure I have this right. They're at 27 points, and Kansas City Current have played 2 more games and only have 3 more points for 7th place. All of a sudden, they're kind of in the mix. And they're playing better. They are. Like, my answer to your question is yes, they're playing better. And I think it's because they've defined rules. Maddie Mercado was interviewed after the game, and she's basically like, we know who's up in the front, up top. We know who's going to play what role, and we have consistency and camaraderie together, and they've kind of been playing the same lineup, and I think that's been helping them.
Yeah.
So they're still young. Sense. It would be amazing.
There's about a month of the season left.
They have like 13 games left.
Yeah, because they took that huge
because they took the break. I'm gonna double check that.
I wonder if it's compressed.
It's pretty compressed. So here, I'll just real quick for our soccer fans. The NWSL website is absolutely atrocious, and I have no problem saying that. They play, so they play Wednesday and then Saturday again this week. And then, so they have 3 in August. They have 5 in September. They have 3 in October. And then the last match is on November 1st. So I guess it's a little less than I said, but it's like 10 matches left. That's a lot. A lot can happen.
Yeah.
So we're not quite there yet. It is kind of weird to think about their last home match is November 1st, which if you put it in a high school calendar, like I often do, because that's where I am, that's like the end of fall sports.
Yeah.
So that's like a whole season of high school sports is how much time they have left.
At that point, the Mariners season will have been over.
The whole baseball season's over, and we're heading to a lockout at that point. That's how crazy soccer seasons are. And next year, the NWSL is trying to match, or with the Women's World Cup, they're starting in like mid-February. Which means if you go to the playoffs,
they're going to start before the baseball season.
You're going to have a month break, a month and a half break at most for these women. So that's going to be kind of brutal. But
God, imagine if Cal Raleigh only had a month break. God,
maybe that'd be good.
Like a 2-month
break. He needs a longer break.
Stunk.
He needs a longer.
God. If you could just go back in time and just pray for it, beg him not to play in the World Baseball Classic, or to
I think that would be the thing.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the thing. Don't play in the WBC. You know, and I never really thought about it at the time, but a lot of ex-players talk about this, Kev, that the playoffs going that deep is so much on your body and added innings and miles, and especially as a catcher, that does really affect people the next year. And unless you do it all the time, and we've talked about this, the Dodgers are so deep and they had such a big lead that maybe it doesn't affect them the same way. The Mariners played, a 15-inning Game 5 against the Tigers. They had all these stressful games, and they'd never really done that before. So it probably did impact them this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, it impacted the Tigers and the Blue Jays also. So who knows? But I don't want to talk about the Mariners. Just kidding. I do, because I'm going to read the comments this week, Kev, and I have a mix for you of I don't even know, but these are all Mariners related. So our segment is reading the comments, which they always say you don't do when you're reading the thing. You don't read your DMs necessarily, because someone's mom might say that they don't like your podcast, and that person might be famous. Okay, here's the first one for you. The first 3 are in response to a clip we put out about the top 50 and snubs type of thing, right? Surprisingly, nobody in our comments really cared about Jeff Nelson, which seemed to be on talk radio the biggest snub. Ours were this. The 8 current players on the list were part of taking this team to the ALCS and nearly the World Series. The 2025 team will stand out for a long time. That was in response to me talking about that seemed kind of surprising that 8 out of the 50 were from the current roster, basically.
Yeah.
That commenter's name is LaCroix King, so I want to make sure we give credit to LaCroix King, which I don't even know how you become a LaCroix King. What does that mean? You like all the flavors? You tried all the flavors? You buy them all the time? Are you really the LaCroix King?
Do you
own LaCroix?
Do you like LaCroix more than Spindrift? Have you had Spindrift?
Spindrift is bottom of my list.
Oh, God. You don't like the juicy
I like
action.
Waterloo.
Ew.
Waterloo is good. Waterloo's good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we'll have to,
so
you know
bad.
what? Maybe next week, top 5 will be seltzer water rankings. That'll get the viewership up. Okay, so here's my response to that. I reflected a little bit about the current roster and who should be there and who shouldn't. Okay. Gilbert, Kirby, Castillo, I'm good. They should be there. They're just in the top 10 in like every category. Cal, obviously, is having one of the worst seasons in Major League history. Last year, he had one of the best seasons
in Major League
You
history.
have to put him in there. 60 home runs. Julio, go look at his stats. He belongs.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 5. Munoz, I can get with. He's been probably now, he might be the best closer in Mariners history, right? It's possible. But he's certainly one of the best. So that's 6. The 2 that I think are debatable are Wu and JP Crawford. Wu had a great year last year, but he's had really, is this unfair to say, but I feel like Brian Wu's had one amazing year.
Where he made the All-Star team.
Yeah. And so then I started thinking about like 1 year All-Stars, right? And like, where do 1 year All-Stars go? That's not fair. Wu was really good in 2024 as well.
Can I make the argument for JP?
Yes.
I think JP Crawford is like the Kyle Seager after Kyle Seager.
He kind of
I think that's the argument, right? Like that he's been here for so long and been consistently decent that it would be weird not to have him in the top 50.
I'm going to go with you on this.
He's been part of every playoff team since 2001.
He's won a Gold Glove, right? So one of our other comments was just Omar Vizquel ? And that was from Dan Hughes, who used to coach the Seattle Storm. I don't know if it's the same Dan Hughes, but that would be amazing. Omar had 1 Gold Glove in Seattle, and JP's had a much better career than Omar. JP has war seasons of 3.7, 2.7, 5.2, 2.7, and 3.6. Those are really good seasons of war, right? Like if your wins above replacement, that means he's above average. Like he's valuable. So I'm okay with all the 2025, 26 guys when it really comes down to it. I just think Wu with 2 years is, I don't know. Maybe that's how bad our pitching has been for 50 years. But you know, it's a tricky one.
Can I
go?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh. There was a scoreboard graphic, and I don't know if you saw my tweets about this, about how he had the second largest season-to-season OPS drop with a minimum of 350 plate appearances per season. So his drop-off at that point in time earlier this week was 384. There's there's one person with
one of them.
The higher drop-off was Roger Hornsby, which was at 394. And then below Raleigh at 379 was Hack Wilson. So those two guys that sandwich Raleigh are both Hall of Famers. And so I was interested. I'm a history guy. So I pulled up Hornsby's page. Hornsby bounced back the next season and led the National League in both WAR and OPS for 3 straight seasons after that huge drop-off.
He was really good. There's something.
This is all before World War II, by the way.
Yeah. Did he go to war? Is that what happened? Like what happened?
Yeah, I was wondering but it's like in the 20s. And then I also looked at how his team did that season when he had the drop-off. The Cardinals won the World Series.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen here, but
I mean, that would be amazing.
Anyways, that'd be pretty funny. So, yeah, I just found that interesting. If you want false hope, there it is.
If you want to go on Rogers Hornsby Reddit, you will find that most people who have read about him are like, wasn't the best dude ever. He hit over 405 times. So Rogers Hornsby was a dude. I don't know what happened there. I want to know, like, was it Spanish flu? Like, what's happening here?
Well, actually, I did look this up and I asked AI. He was managing the team as well. So, honestly, if Cal Raleigh was managing the team, maybe he'd be doing better, right?
Yeah, catchers. Crazy. Okay, one other one from the top 50 comments. Hear me out. Doesn't get a lot of recognition for what he did early in the Mariners season. Dan Meyer. That was from What into Casey? That was our user there. What into Casey? I get it. You know, if you're older, Dan Meyer played, you know, he was on the original team in 77. He was only 24 years old. If you want to use WAR as a metric, Dan Meyer's seasons were 0.9, negative 2.7. That's a bad WAR season. Yeah. 0.6, negative 0.5, and negative 0.4. So,
probably higher than Cal Raleigh, though.
So, but no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to consider Dan Meyer. Sorry. We're going to consider Jim Presley before that, and we're certainly going to consider Tino Martinez and his 31 homer, 111 RBI 1995 year where he made the All-Star team. Yeah. Dan Meyer, in our memory as older fans, and I will put myself in that group as a 47-year-old, even though I don't remember Dan Meyer, would say, like, yeah, I remember he was like the most competent player we had. But that's how bad early season Mariners baseball was. is that he wasn't good, which leads me to my next comment. Okay. From Bushman Fishes on Instagram. LOL, time travel back to the 80s with me. They have always been a disappointment. I genuinely can't figure out, after 41 years here, how people still continue to believe in this team. It's a great comment that we've all felt. I want to push back on Bushman Fishes here for a second. Why are you fishing from the bushes? Is there a technique there? Number one. Number two, when Kevin's giggling like this, you know you've made it. Number two, Bushman Fishes. Bushman Fishes, number two. This is where I've landed as a Mariners fan, watching them my whole life. So I'm 47 years old. They've played 50 years. I went to games when I was a baby. I remember watching Jim Presley, Mark Langston. So this is like 84, 85. So I'm 7th year of existence is when my memory of the Mariners starts, right? So I've been in it as long as anybody, right? It's part of it. It's just part of it. Because here's the thing. When they do finally win the World Series, that feeling is so great. Do you remember when the Seahawks won the first Super Bowl with that feeling?
Yes.
It was not the same this time.
I was there. It was not the same.
It's not the same. It's the first time in the suffering and the terrible baseball and the disappointment and the Astros game on Friday where Munoz gets cranked and all these bad luck happens. That's all part of it. So maybe this is the year. Maybe they'll win just to be funny with like a sub 500 record, right? Or something like that. But it's all part of it. You can't just say, you can say they've been a disappointment forever. Absolutely. It's not totally true, but it's mostly true.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best, the most Mariners thing of all Mariners thing is them being, there's a couple things I'll point out. I think number one on the list is them having the most wins in a regular season ever and not sniffing the World Series.
Yeah.
I think the number two thing is them having an insane amount of Hall of Famers for an insane amount of time.
They don't have an insane amount. They had one window where they had 3 of the best players of all time.
Yes.
And then they had Ichiro after that.
Yes.
So you're right.
But before that, yes, they did not sniff the World Series with Ken Griffey Jr., Alex Rodriguez, and Randy Johnson.
They didn't really. You're right. I mean, they went to the AL. No, with Griffey, they never went to the ALCS.
I'm pretty confident most people will say that Ken Griffey Jr., I mean, Barry Bonds is right there, but like was the best player in the 1990s. And I think you could credibly say that Randy Johnson was the best pitcher in baseball after he left the Mariners for a 5-year run. He ripped off like 3 Cy Youngs.
A couple of those years with the Mariners, he was probably the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
And you're right. Okay. All this is true, but let me just double down on this because we do this thing where we're like, we've suffered forever, right? And certainly the Mariners have not made the World Series. I'm not saying we haven't suffered. Okay. But I want you to put it in context. The Cleveland baseball team, Indians and then Guardians, the last time they won a World Series was 77 years ago. Okay. The Brewers, 57 years ago, never won the World Series. Padres never won the World Series, 57 years ago. Mariners are right there in that mix. Okay. Orioles, 42 years, Pirates, 46. Now, some of these teams have fans who are like, oh, I remember when they won the World Series. But there's not many Guardians fans left who remember 77 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So there are other franchises. And then I want you to go to the Cubs. Do you remember that they had a 100-year drought before they won? And the Red Sox, the curse of the Bambino? Like, we're still in infancy almost as a franchise. And yes, it's disappointment and we suffer, but it's going to be great when they do it. Okay. That's for Bushman Fishes. Okay. 2 more real quick ones. Okay. I just want to read these. These are on our side. I was shocked at our Julio clip about how we basically said, let him have fun and be a dude and just like have a life.
Yeah.
Overwhelmingly agreed with us in the comments.
It always shocks me. I think it's because I think social media, there's different types of people that gravitate towards different types of social media. Instagram seems
Great
a little
comment.
more reasonable.
True. Yes.
Yeah.
You mean like old people go to Facebook? That's true, Kev. Although we have an active Facebook community that I don't always have access to, but here were the 2 comments I grabbed. Josh, the thing is, many fans are very stupid. That was in support of us saying when we were saying,
including us, by the way, including us, because
we're stupid.
Oh yeah,
Why are we
Me and
stupid?
you have definitely said stupid things.
Oh sure, yeah, absolutely. I just said one that's going to piss everybody off, that we didn't suffer enough or something. People are going to be aggregating that. Second thing from Roy Donk. I don't know if that's really Roy's name, but like Roy Donk, what a name. Your name's Roy Donk. He said, Jesus, some of these Mariners fans are idiots. Also true of us sometimes. Great comments, though. Thanks, Roy.
You.
Thanks,
Shout
Bushman
out.
Fishes. Thanks, everybody. Thanks. What was our first one today?
Shout out to the LaCroix King.
The LaCroix King just coming from the top rope. It's fantastic. Okay. Saturday Night Vibes. Here we go.
Yeah,
let's finish it up, Kev,
segment.
with a top 5. Okay. That's where the music will go for the top 5 in the future.
I mean, we could just pop something here. Here we go.
Yeah, give me a random sound. Here's your
top 5.
See, that's not bad. I'll take
there
it.
You go.
All right, Kev, I have to bring it back to Husky football for you.
Yep.
And I'm going to return to the conversation about Damon Williams that we had earlier. How many yards do you think Damon's going to throw for this year? Like, give me a range.
God.
Do you know how many he threw for last? You know what? Pause. We'll come back to that. Let's do the top 5 first. I want you to give me the top 5. I have to find my list here so I don't lose it. Top 5 career passing yards, Washington Husky football history.
Single season or just
career?
All time?
Career.
Okay.
And I'll bring it back to DeMond.
Yeah.
He's not in the top 5. Cody Pickett's number 2. I think we've done this one before.
Yeah.
But it's going to connect better to what's happening now. Cody Pickett's number 2.
Let's go. Did Michael Penix? No. He didn't play long enough. God, but did he? Okay, let's hold on Penix. Let's go Jake Browning.
Number 1. By a wide margin. Wide margin.
4-year starter, right?
Yep.
Keith Price is up there.
Number 4. Yep. Number 4.
So I've hit 3.
You have 3 of the 5.
Okay, now it gets hard. I want to say Warren Moon.
Are you saying it or you want to say it?
I'm saying it.
Okay, here's what's crazy about Warren Moon. And I will talk about this to any Husky fan ever. There are people who say he's the best Husky of all time. I understand it was a different era. Warren Moon is 17th all time in Husky passing history.
That's crazy. Yeah.
He only threw for 3,277 yards. Do you know he also had 19 touchdowns and 17 interceptions as a Husky?
God,
those are not good numbers.
Such a great
at all.
Career. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Okay, so it's strike 1.
Yep. You got to get 2.
Let's go. The thing is about those 90s quarterbacks is they didn't have long careers. I'll take a guess and just say Penix is in number 5.
Number 3 all time.
Man,
how about that?
2 seasons.
Yeah, I mean they were long seasons, so this is interesting.
Yeah.
I want everybody to hear this who's interested in Husky football history. Penix 28 games as a pro or as a Husky, 2 seasons. That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
To put that in perspective, Brock Heward played 30 games as a Husky, and I would say most people think Brock Heward played a lot of games, and he only played 2 more than Michael Penix. Do you want to guess Brock Heward for number 5? Or am I throwing you off the scent now?
No. Yeah. It's not going to be like Brunel. How about Chris Chandler?
Chris Chandler is number 12 all time. Number 5 is your friend and mine, 40 games as a Husky, Jake Locker.
Oh my God, how did I forget?
Now, Brock Heward is number 6 in only 30 games. Brock Heward had a great Husky career. Damon Heward, number 7. I bet that's awesome for the family that Brock threw 80 more yards. 50 more yards than Damon, but in 7 less games also. So he had a really nice career. 2 Esosopos 8. Sonny 6 killer 9. Kerry Conklin played for the Niners in the NFL for a little bit, 10. Damon Williams is 13, Kev, right now through 26 games. He threw for about 3,000 yards last year. So he threw for 3,079, I think. So if I set the over under, I wonder if we can find the over under.
You know what's wild? He has 3 more seasons.
I know.
So he could easily break.
Do you think he'll? I mean, I guess it depends. What will you?
I think because he's a short quarterback, like he won't necessarily need to go to the pros or might not want to go to the pros when he's eligible. And so I guess it's just like all good questions. The answer is it depends.
Okay, here's interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I found this stat. So he threw for 3,065 yards last year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say he had a great year necessarily. He was pretty good if you look at his stats. But you're right. It was padded, right, against some bad teams. The only line I could find for Vegas is 2,575.5 passing yards.
Oh, I'd take the over.
We got to go to the casino. I'm 100% taking the over. I was going to set the line
with a better
higher than last year. I was going to set it at like 3,100. Would you go over still?
I mean, I guess that's just banking on him just not showing up against Indiana and Oregon.
Or
which
injury.
I think is or an injury, or that he doesn't need to throw the ball as much.
Yeah.
So
I heard a professional gambler on the radio talking about, and he, who knows if he's good or not, but he was on the radio.
Yeah.
And he was talking about season-long prop bets, receivers, running backs, whatever. He goes, 70% of the time he goes under. And this is NFL mostly, but it's the same concept because there's so much injury in football.
Yeah.
That if you get an injury, you're going to hit the under probably. And, just the likelihood is they're going to be under rather than over. I think that under is way too crazy for Damon, though. So give me a number you're going to give him. Let's just say he's healthy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was going to say 3,500.
Okay.
Is that just an insane
Let's give it
amount?
to him. No, I don't think it's insane. I mean, how many games? 14 games?
Yeah.
What is that per game, Kev? Do some math. Are you good at math?
You're asking me if I'm good at math?
250 yards a game. That seems a little aggressive, but he'll have some.
That seems aggressive.
He'll have some.
He'll
more.
have some like.
Okay, let's go 3,200 to be safe. Okay.
Yeah.
If he has 3,200 yards this year, he will be 6th all time in Husky history. Is that wild? That seems wild to me.
Yeah.
He will have passed both Hewards, 6 killer, all these guys. He'll be just below Jake Locker, and after another year, he'll easily be above Jake Locker, and he would probably pass Keith Price if he plays 2 more years. In fact, if he's at 7,500 and he gets another year of 3,000, he will be 2nd all time in Husky history with 2 more years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Unless he decides to transfer.
Yeah, he decides to transfer, which could definitely happen, or maybe his production goes down.
How many players do you think are ahead of him in the Heisman odds at this point?
Set up already during the podcast. There's a lot.
I just did.
There's a lot.
I thought it was interesting, but he's in the top 20.
55 to 1.
Yeah.
On the one I saw, he's meaning if you bet 100, you could win. I think I have this right. 5,500 if he wins the Heisman.
I'm looking at dudes above him. I'm like, they're that much better than him? I don't know.
There's some guys' names who maybe I need to do a little college football research who have the same odds as him.
Yeah.
And maybe we're not looking at the same one, but do you know who Rocco Becht is?
Yeah, I see the same one, but I have no idea who he is.
Do you know who Bear Bachmeier is?
No.
I'm just like, who are, maybe.
Yeah.
This is why I liked, remember when we did our preview the first time we did this podcast?
Yeah.
We knew all about the Rutgers quarterback. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But those
we're
are the
gonna
good
have to
old days.
figure out how we're gonna do football season.
That's
I don't think
true.
we're gonna be able to do Saturday nights anymore.
That'll be hard because the Huskies actually. A buddy and I were looking at this. For those of you who hate the 8 p.m. starts, I don't think they're going to have many 8 p.m. starts this year.
Yeah. That's what
If you look
happens
at their
when you're a
schedule.
winner. Yeah.
They're
when
also
you're,
their early games are all afternoons. People will love it. The Apple Cup's an afternoon, Utah State's an afternoon, Eastern Washington's an afternoon. All should be victories. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, don't jinx us. All right. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
We'll be up or down on the Mariners next week.
Can't wait to read the comments.
Yeah. Yes, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and read the comments on Instagram and TikTok and whatever else is out there.
Go get ready to enjoy some LaCroix.
Yes. See you next week. This episode is not sponsored by LaCroix, but maybe sponsored by
we're open.
the LaCroix King. All right. All right. See you next week.